Is it on? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. If you're watching this, you know my name's Jade. This is my roommate Sydney, and we're gonna do the nail video today. I know a lot of people have been asking me how I do my acrylic nails at home, and this first part of the video is just gonna be more showing like all the stuff I've gotten over the course of quarantine, because I've been buying new products and like trying which ones I like that work for me. So I'm just gonna talk about how much they were, what brand I got, my thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna show how I actually do it. So Sydney and I originally bought this like set from Walmart, and it was like $6.
Yeah, or $9.
Yeah, and it like had all of the pieces to like do the acrylic nails at home, but obviously it was just like a small amount, so I had to like upgrade to Amazon buys. So the first step of doing your nails is by putting on the acrylic tips. Actually, that's not true. I bought this thing. Not a lot of people use this, but it's called Pro Bond. I got the gelish one. It's not focusing. But anyways, I bought this one. And this you just put on your nails before you do anything else, because then it helps your acrylics stick to your nails, because obviously we don't have the drill and stuff, so it's not quite the same, but it helps. And then I bought this. Oh, I bought this from Amazon. It was like $7, I think. It wasn't too bad. And then these two sets of tips came together like this. I think it was 1,000 pieces. I'm not quite sure. But this is more of like a clear color, and then this is more of a yellowish. And honestly, a lot of people think that the yellow will show when you're like painting them and they don't want to use them, but it really doesn't show at all. I did the yellow ones on you, actually, and you can't tell at all. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, you can't tell.
And then I have the liquid, obviously, that you dip the brush in. This I bought from Amazon because I ran out of the one that came in the other kit. And this was a little bit more expensive, honestly. It's only 4 fluid ounces, which it'll last a little bit, but it was like $15, and the more you get, obviously, the price goes up, but I just bought that one because it works for now. And then I have the acrylic powder. This is actually the one that came in the Walmart kit. It's really small, but the powder lasts a really long time. It's not focusing very good. There we go. Love that. Oh, maybe I was trying to focus on this. I'll see. Nope. Good talk. Okay, so, oh, also this nail glue, this is what I used to put the tips on for the acrylics, and this came in the kit with this too, the Walmart kit. This file came with the Walmart kit too. And then, okay, so I just use regular nail clippers when I'm using the nail tips. Obviously there's the nicer ones that are made for acrylics where you can just slide the nail and just chop it, but these actually work fine temporarily, honestly. And then I bought this separately. I just like to take the cuticles off. I know that's not very like good for your nails, but they annoy me, so I just take it off. Okay, and then a lot of people, you can put regular nail polish on them just like you do at the nail salon, but I'm dramatic and I like the gel polish. Sydney likes the gel polish too. So hers, we actually got her UV light from Walmart. It was like $18 for like the base coat, like all the stuff to do, like the UV light. It came with everything. And for me, I didn't go to Walmart because I was staying in my house, but I bought this one off of Amazon. It's so tiny. I honestly, like, this is it on my hand. I honestly was scared when I first got it because it just looks so cheap, and I don't know. I just didn't really think it was gonna work, but it actually works really well. So yeah, I got this. It was like 14 bucks. It wasn't bad at all. And then I bought, these came in a set from Amazon. It's the top and base coat. I think this was like $8 maybe for these two. It wasn't super bad, but actually the base coat I have no complaints about. It works really well. But this top coat, I'll show the brand. It's like Meldones or something. But anyways, the top coat, I always do my nails outside usually, just because it's nice outside, but this actually dries up like from the wind, and then parts of like the nail polish are like dried up, so when I try to put it on, it's not like smooth. Like there are little chunks of like the dried polish in it. I don't really like it. I need to get a new one. Well, I'll probably use yours for when I do my actual nails, but I don't really like this top coat, so I don't really recommend that. But the base coat works so good. Then Same with, okay, so I bought the gel polish. I bought it in a set off Amazon. There were 6 of them. And they're like a pink tones and blue. I'll show them. But I had a similar problem with these. If you leave them in the wind like too long, they start to like dry a little bit. I don't know if that's just because I'm doing it outside or what I'm doing wrong, but I don't know. The ones that we use, I'm gonna show a different brand, the one from Walmart that we've used before, and I don't actually have any complaints about those. But these are like the bluish gray tones. And then I just bought this one from Walmart yesterday, and I'm gonna do my nails this color today in this video. But it's like this summery blue color. I don't know, I like it. I can show you what it looks like actually. This is the color. And the Walmart brand is called Sensational. I cannot get this polish out. It doesn't really matter. I guess I already showed the color. But I kind of want to show, oh, I want to show, yeah. Okay, so it's kind of a lot smaller than this one. I mean, actually, let me look. Oh, it's only like a little less than 3 milliliters smaller. I guess it's not that really big of a deal, but like this is the size comparison.
The only thing that sucks about those is the brush is really big. Like open.
Of these?
It's so big.
Okay, the brush isn't that big. I like that. I mean, my brush is big on these. But like, do you see how thick the nail polish is? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But, so that's basically everything I've got. I think that we're, oh, and this, okay. Did you buy an acrylic kit or no?
No.
Okay, well, my brush is getting kind of crappy. I think I'm just gonna let it sit in like acetone or something. But this came with the Walmart kit as well. And honestly, it worked for the first few rounds, but then like, it's obviously not as nice of quality as the salon one. So like the acrylic powder and stuff, like, do you see that?
Crusty?
Yeah, it's like crusty. That's the perfect word actually. So I'm thinking that if I just like let it sit, that it'll soften up, because if it's not soft, it's so hard to do the powder's hard already. I mean, it's not hard, but it's difficult to make it look as nice as you want. Yeah, Sydney struggled with that. But anyways, it's okay. I'll probably end up getting a newer one from Amazon, but I just haven't gotten to it yet because this one was working for the time being. But yeah, I think that's everything that I use for my nails. So we're gonna go do some homework, and then Sydney's gonna record the process of how I do my nails. First thing, we're gonna start doing the nails, but Sydney is going to help with the up close stuff. So the first thing I like to do, since we don't have a nail drill, is just to file like my actual nail down a little bit. I mean, it kind of sucks because you obviously don't want to ruin your real nails, but it helps to make the acrylic stay on longer, which is something that I kind of forget to do. But it doesn't take long at all. You just lightly go over it just to roughen up the surface a little bit. And then next, I'm gonna go in with my Pro Bond, the gelish nail polish, and it's super light. It honestly feels like acetone kinda. And you just swipe it on all your nails. It doesn't take a lot. You shouldn't have to dip it more than once. All right, now the next thing you do is you find your nail tips. I'm gonna use the yellow ones just to like show you guys that you can't see it when you actually put the acrylics on, because that's something I used to be really worried about. So basically you're just gonna find which nail tip fits for you. So it honestly takes a little bit of time because not every single nail tip is gonna fit your nail perfectly. I like to start with the pinky ones just because the easiest, like that fits, cool. I pull out 2 of them. And it just kinda is, like that's way too small. It's just a process of seeing which ones fits. Like that's perfect, so I'll pull 2 of those out. This honestly is probably gonna fit my index finger, so I'll pull 1 of those out. This will be probably my middle. And it might take it might take a little bit longer. I just kind of know where the ones that fit me are. I think this is the one I use for my thumb because I think this one is too small. I can do that one. All right, and that's it for that. Now when you take the nail glue, You don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. And you want to make sure that the ends of the nail are like pushed onto yours, because if it sticks up when you're doing the acrylic powder, it won't look very good. Okay. So then you just do this with all of your nails. And you see that, oop. I'm probably making this seem like a lot harder than it really is. It's really not hard at all. The nail tip really doesn't matter once you have the acrylic powder on. Oh, I just stuck that in the glue. Okay, so this is what they look like with just the glue on. Oh. Okay, so after that, this is where you use the clippers and what I was talking about earlier about how these aren't the actual clippers. So I'm going to show you how to do it with these clippers because the other ones are kind of self-explanatory. So basically what I do is I just go to the length that I want and clip half of it. Just like that. And then it only does this for the thumb one. It doesn't reach all the way. So you kind of have to like spin that off. Then it'll look like that. And then you can just make it even like that. And then I'm just gonna do that with all my nails. These nails are easier to do because they're shorter. I mean, they're smaller, so like, so yeah, it goes by pretty fast. You don't have to worry about the shape too much right now because the filing is the most important step into getting the shape that you want. But obviously when you're cutting, so I'm going for like a square kind of shape, but if you're doing almond, obviously you want to kind of go more up like that with your clipper. But for me, this is what works for the square. Let's speed this process up too. I'm like actually so shaky, I don't know why. Okay, so this is what they'll look like after you cut them, depending on what shape that you end up doing. But the next step is just to file to get the shape that you like. This is probably the most tedious step because if you don't have a good nail shape, they're not gonna look good with the acrylic powder. But if you do a different shape than square, for like almond, you'll have to like go more on the side of the nail, but for me, they kinda do it themselves. So I don't have to shape the sides too much right now. But that's kind of what the shape I'm going for looks like. So then I'm gonna go and do that to all of these nails, and then, oh, I actually didn't really like that. Looks a little bit better. So yeah, I'm gonna do that to all my nails and then I'll be back. All right, so I just filed them all. Obviously they're not perfect. I'm not a real nail tech. I've only done this a few times, but this is what they're looking like so far. The nails, there's like a little, see that? This like little piece that comes out from the inside. That just like peels right off. I just didn't know if you guys could see that. But like on the pinky, you can just peel it up and take it off. So it's not a problem with the actual nail shape, you just kind of have to pick at it. But after this, it's basically time to go in with your acrylic powder and your monomer. So these are the things that I have. I always go and get a paper towel, but the brush is looking pretty good actually. So you open up your powder. This is what that looks like, super loose. You just dip it in here and you kind of wipe off the sides. And you dip this in the powder. You hold it in there for a second and you have the little bead. And you take it like this. Wipe it off the sides. And don't worry if it's not perfect because you will end up filing this down. See how it keeps coming off the nail a little bit? You just keep wiping it off. You dip it in this. You just kind of work with it to get that the shape that you want. That honestly sat on there pretty nice. Yeah, so it slides off the nail. Just drag it with the brush. All right, so now that's gonna have to sit for a second, but that's what it looks like with the powder on. It's obviously not even, you can see that, but that's what the file is for. So I'm gonna keep doing this. I'll show more nails of me doing this, just because this is the most tedious part of it. So I'm gonna dip it in here. We're just gonna do a little bit for the pinky nail. Have a tiny little bead. Put it onto the nail. And it kind of just sinks in itself. The most important thing is just to get the extra off. Just like that. Because it does run down. Oh, look at all the extra. And that's what your paper towel is for too. Just to help you get the shape that you like. See, it's still running down a little bit. Just clean it up. And if you don't clean it up, it's really hard to get off because you can't really get this stuff with the file off on the side. So that's what that one looks like. We'll show how to do one more and then I'll come back once I have them all finished. We'll do the ring finger. We got that little bead on there. And swipe it onto the nail. The brush is actually working pretty good considering it's on its last time here. So yeah, that's what those three look like with the acrylic powder. So all the acrylic powder's on. You're gonna wanna wait probably like 5 to 10 minutes for it to dry, and then you go in with whatever nail polish you want. So actually no. Okay, so for right now, this is when the nail salon would like drill your nails or whatever. I tend to like reshape, so the pinky one is a little, I don't know. I just wanna like make it a little more straight on the side and then file some of the tips down a little bit more. And then all I do is, I'll show it too, but I just file the tops of it down so it's not as like puffy, so they're not chunky on my fingers. And then you go in with the nail polish and then we'll show the painting process. Okay, so this is after the acrylic powder dried, and I'm just gonna kind of show you guys what I tend to file down when I try to do the edges to make them nice and sharp. I do the top a little bit more because I like my square pretty straight on top. But these nails actually turned out, this is probably the best set I've done, which is good, that's right now, but there's not really much touch-ups I have to do to the sides of everything. So this is to help have that smaller nail. It doesn't look as chunky. You want to make sure you get the sides of it so it's not chunky on the sides, towards the cuticle. Just go like this. So that actually looks pretty smooth. I'm okay with that. Actually, I did this one second. Sometimes they don't really need a lot of filing on top, but I just like to do it because usually you have the drill at the nail salon. So this just gets it as small as you can. So yeah, here's what those look like right now. Something that I forget to do sometimes, I always want to go straight into painting my nails, but you need to wash them to get the acrylic powder off, or it will show when you do your polish. Alright, so ready to start the process of painting them. This little light has like 3 settings, so it has the setting like this, where it'll go for, actually that looks really bright inside, I've never seen it inside. But it goes for 30 seconds right now, and if you hit it again, it'll stay on for as long as you want it, and then this is obviously off. So I'm gonna go in with my base coat first. This is the one that's still in really great condition. I'm just gonna lightly go over the whole nail. It doesn't take a lot. And this part doesn't have to be perfect because it just helps turn the whole thing into gel. Okay, so I just finished the base coat, and then you just set it under the nail light. I tend to do it for at least a minute, so I'll do 2 rounds, and then the thumb doesn't really fit. Sometimes if I'm like in a hurry, I'll go like this. But I let this sit under there for at least a minute for the base coat. The longest coat you're going to want to do under the light is the top coat because you don't want it to be sticky when you're ready to go and you're done with your nails. So here's what they look like after the base coat and after the UV light. So I'm going in with Rest and Relaxation. The color from Walmart, and I'm gonna apply that all over my nails. Oh my gosh, I love this color so much. I'm so glad I bought this. All right, so I did the top coat off camera because I already mentioned that it's been having issues with the drying part. So there's like the little pieces inside the polish and we just had to pick it out. It was just a hassle, honestly. So I didn't want to show it. But this is after all the polish, all the steps and everything. So yeah, obviously it's not perfect. There's different things I could have done. There's areas that needed more polish, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is basically how you do your acrylic nails at home. Super easy. It does take practice, but yeah. All right, so I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'm not gonna say like and subscribe because that's just so dumb. But yeah, I hope everyone does their own acrylic nails at home because it'll save so much money instead of going to the nail salon, and you can do it yourself, you can fix it and all that jazz. So we'll see you in the next video.